Look how the
Yeah,
demeanor's
sorry for hurting
changed.
your feelings, Chad.
He is having an emotional moment here.
Oh, because I found out that I hurt your feelings when I didn't mean to.
Okay, well, it's not about hurting feelings. It's a desperate framing, bro. It's not about his hurt feelings. It's about your rat behavior. Do not read anything into this, because you would be a schizophrenic if you dared read anything into this whatsoever. You'd be unhinged and weird and obsessed.
Right, that's pretty much just...
Well, I've literally shown you guys. I've just shown you guys that you completely lies about the motivation here. Lies about it not being a good play or whatever. To try and dispel the idea that it's manipulative. So already you should be totally set, like, okay, this guy's weird. Something weird's happening. They're saying this guy's not quite reporting his internal state of mind accurately. We're moving on to Tectone. So guys, over the last week, Tectone has been getting odd. Not odd like a US military subordinate of Iron Mike, but odd in the colloquial internet sense where someone gets embarrassed by another party, humiliated by another party. Because Tectone made the stupid decision to bring up his dad in an argument. So people immediately ask the question, well, who is Tectone's dad? Turns out Tectone's dad is Iron Mike, a famous man from the military, colonel, I believe, who was convicted on 14 counts of sexual harassment and assault alleged by 8 different women. He was able to keep his titles, keep his benefits, all of that, and served only 90 days in prison, I believe. Never on the sex offender registry. So, this was brought up by Hassan to Tectone, saying, you think your dad's so cool? Look at all this. And then Tectone decided to go and cry about it on stream. Has been having a multi-day meltdown. And then Chud mocked him for it. It seemed like he basically started throwing shots in response to that. So Chud watched some of Tectone's stuff here, spoke about it a bit. And then, guys, Tectone joined the Chud Logic podcast. Tectone appeared on the Chud Logic podcast to fight the allegations. So let's take a look. Let's see what we think.
I'm not really the main part of this story, and I don't want to be too self-centered.
No,
but I do also
jail,
want to talk a little bit about the fact that Tectone is like pretending to have no idea who I am, which is kind of just bizarre. Just a bizarre and unnecessary lie. Anyway, let's have a little look at the old clip and see what we think.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Off topic, but have you listened to the new Kanye track? It's quite a head bumper regardless of the lyrics.
I have, yes. I'm a big fan. Thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate it. Dude, where is it? Hang on a sec. It's Yeet. Yeet tweeted it out. God, he tweets a lot, doesn't he? Jesus. He must be raking it in. I thought I had it saved somewhere. Oh, here we go. This is it here. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a little look.
I am moving on, Virtual Alligator. If you're ever around and you want to jump on and talk about this or something, then find a down moment where it doesn't look like I'm committed to doing anything, and then I'll bring you on. But I'm not bringing people on right now.
Him apologizing publicly and saying, "Hey, I fucked up." I think that's a very big. W. To be completely honest.
But the fallout of this video was a lot of the previous stuff being...
Because I know how many people were going after Muda for this shit. So yeah, I think that's I think he made up for it for sure.
Brought up again against Nux, and other people like Chud Logic were affected when they...
Who cares? Why are we talking about Chud Logic? Who cares?
Oh my god, dude.
Just get him off my screen. How, bro? He's like
it is crazy how Tectone was seething the moment Chud came on screen. Look at this, man.
Against Nux, and other people like Chud Logic were affected when they...
Who cares? Why are we talking about Chud Logic? Who cares?
Oh my god, dude.
Just get him off my screen. How, bro? He's like another Frogan. Like, who the fuck even knows who that is, bro? Who is that? I'm good, man. Just get him off my fucking screen.
It was a pretty rough moment there.
So in conclusion...
Him apologizing.
See, the thing that's so obvious about this clip is he obviously knows who I am. He's got to do this fake who megalol shit, and obviously for some reason I'm under his skin, and I think I know why. I think I know why I'm under his skin. Recently, it's probably because I mocked his rapist dad on stream. That's probably one of the reasons, okay? And the other reason is because prior to this, I expressed skepticism at his defense of his allegations, okay? That I'm guessing is why he's acting like this about it. Now, for those of you that don't know, there's a little factoid about Tectone that you might be interested in, okay?
Not the Tomato Town leak.
A little while ago,
Oh no.
back in 2023, I was in some sort of drama with one of the OTK people. It might have been Mizkif or something like that. I was getting posted on LSF a lot, and so the OTK people were talking a bit of shit about me. But Tectone actually took a different tact.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed
Move
people?
Avatar.
You made Techie relive his unspeakable childhood experiences
Okay,
with your
dude.
middle-aged
Okay,
rapist.
that's wonderful. But how do I
You
make
made fun of
money
him getting
off depressed people?
Who cares, Noah? Who cares? Wow.
I disavow. I disavow those comments, but thank you nonetheless. Would you believe it that back in 2023, this man that now is claiming he barely knows who I am and hasn't heard of me, he actually invited me to play Fortnite. Back in 2023. This is him in my chat. Back in 2023. Offering to drop in Tomato Town, I would imagine. So look, obviously, at the end of the day, this isn't like a massive
that's
deal.
wonderful.
Okay?
But how
None
do
of
I
this
make
really matters
money
in the grand
off
scheme of
depressed
things.
people?
He obviously knows who you are. His insult is that no one else knows who you are.
Thank you very much for the super chat. It's very obvious. It's very obvious that I've got under his skin with some of my coverage, and he knows about it, and he's trying to let on like he doesn't know about it, but clearly he does.
Very true.
So even this cope of like, no one else knows who you are. I mean, in the clips that I've seen, he seems to be pushing this point quite strongly, acting like I'm a total nobody that should be ignored. But yet, a couple of years ago, he was wanting to play fucking Fortnite with me because I was in some stupid beef on LSF with some other OTK people. And I think
They are total snakes, man. Their Plazookas guy is actually... That guy talks so much sense. It can't be understated that this Plazookas guy, this guy's got Tectone's number, okay? And OTK's number in general. Like, let's just... Like, this one is about Tectone, but I feel like this explains it all pretty well. This explains this whole OTK thing pretty well.
You see next. Hello YouTube, my name is Plazookas, and wouldn't you know that of all the fucking people that I hear OTK news about, I haven't been watching anything. I've been too busy. My head's been down, the holidays, whatever else, no Tectone, no MLPL, no
MLPL.
whatever her fucking name is, the one that's married to MLPL or whatever that relationship is. I misgive all that. I haven't listened to anything. And then I hear the story about Extra Emily.
Extra
Who's
Emily.
part of OTK, which OTK is bankrupt, and you know why it's bankrupt.
Oh, I had fucking Chud's VOD open on my thing.
Because of all these greedy, selfish fucking content creators within that group. That's all they do is just funnel the money out of it. And it went bankrupt, which is what it was supposed to do anyway. It was supposed to generate all this funds. And then all these people got it, and then like, oh, we'll just disperse, and we'll go bankrupt, and then we'll get off our taxes, whatever else. Bullshit, 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 bullshit. It's it's from Texas, whatever else. This fucking girl, who's made it big, who has Mizkif backing her, who has all these people saying how good she is, and all and all this stuff, right? Fluffing her up like they all do. Like a boys club kind of mentality, like, there ain't nothing wrong here.
True.
Perfect person would not pay her fucking parents back. And yet you want to act like these people are good, that these people are going to give back to the community, that these people are so charitable, or that they have your best interest in mind. If someone does not want to pay their parents back, they have your worst interest in mind, because if they can't even be compassionate to their parents, they can't be compassionate to anybody, which means they're probably psychopathic. They're probably narcissistic. They're probably so self-conceited
He's talking sense.
that they take all day. OTK, MLPL, Mizkif, Asmongold, Tectone, Extra Emily, Emaru, Soda Poppin', take. Oh, I'm gonna do a charitable thing. I'll take this administrative fee. Oh, I'll take all these extra donations that I get because I'm charitable and I'm a nice guy. Fuck you. And fuck this system. And there has to be all these kids watching these people because adults, you should be ashamed of yourself for watching these content creators. I have literally been radio silent. I'm not making this video any longer than it needs to be. What a fucking cesspool.
Talking sense. That guy was talking crazy sense there. What a fucking cesspool.
Is he probably, yeah, I think he probably sussed me out as being like a drama guy that might be on his side in some fashion or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, this was a couple of years ago, to be fair. So obviously, you know, it's not 100%. It's not 100% that he might not know who I am now. That's fair enough. However, with that being said, there's another clip that I just want to show you, which I think is quite eye-opening too. So let me just show you this. Wait a second. This is the clip here, I think. Where is it? Oh my god, dude. Bro! Nicandros has sent me so many fucking links, Jesus.
Agent N.
Oh, this is it here. This is it here.
No.
So this here, I don't think I'm anything to do with whatever drama he's talking about here. What is this? Hassan. From February 16th, 2025. I don't think I'm anything to do with this.
Hassan is the streamer who has said the worst shit that gets away with everything. You want to know why? Because people think he's dreamy. Yep. And you know that's the truth. Listen, man, if Hassan went live and he was looking like Chud Logic and he said all this dumbass shit, he would be banned immediately. Hassan is the streamer who has said the...
So he's just randomly making some sort of comment about how ugly I am in February 16th, 2025. But now he's trying to do this absolutely pathetic, wretched... Oh, who even is this guy? Who even is this guy? Who even is this guy? Well, I'm the guy that a couple of months ago you were so upset about. You were taking these weird little snipes at me in this other random fucking drama that was nothing to do with me.
Very true.
And the only possible reason that I can think that he would say this and make this like weird random snipe on a totally like, as far as I understand, I don't think I had anything at all to do with any of this shit. It just randomly cropped up in his head.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money?
It is very obvious that Tectone thought he could maybe win Chud over, and then he was annoyed that he saw Chud was putting out videos that disparaged him based on his allegations. I think that's pretty clear. I think that's pretty obvious.
People.
Battle of the Balding Retards.
I disavow, but thank you very much for
that's wonderful.
for the tip.
But how do
Hero,
I make
appreciate
money off depressed people?
Are you sure it wasn't his dad that invited you to play Fortnite? How old were you at the time? Thoughtful face emoji.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the super chat, Kelly Murray. Appreciate it. This
Fact is, you are caught in my rat trap. You know what, C-Space? Just because you think that you've achieved something by typing out retarded messages in chat, I'm going to remove your ability to do so. So, I'll enjoy never speaking to you again.
This is my thing with this whole situation. There isn't good proof that's been provided that he's done anything wrong. But his response is very suspicious.
But how do I make money
that was basically my take, by the way. That was the entirety of my take. Yeah, obviously, you know, provocative title. I think that the thumbnail is his face and it says suspicious or something like that. Right? But this video came out on the 21st of January. And then about a month later, he's making some random comment about me. So, I mean, I don't know what other interpretation I'm supposed to make other than he somehow knew or got wind that I'd scrutinized his claims and taken some issue with it. That he's randomly bringing me up on a stream on February 16th, 2025. Like, he must have seen my video about it. How could he have not if he's just randomly, you know, taking a little snipe at me there, you know? And the thing is, I've got some even better evidence for you that he does pay attention to these, you know, small irrelevant channels. Because there's another channel that full on A-logs him called Plazookas. Is this it? Plazookas?
Hello, YouTube. My name.
So this guy's got 2.12K
Tectone
subs.
comments on all of this guy's fucking videos, by the way.
So he's literally like, you know, 357 views. And what is this in the replies that I can see?
Yep, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, look. It's fucking Tectone. Tectone in the replies.
Yeah, he replies like every video this guy puts out.
Of this 357 view video. And then I thought, well, maybe this is just a badly performing video. But then I looked at his channel. And his most viewed video about Tectone is 4.6k views. So what this tells me is that, yes, he does likely have some sort of knowledge or insight into videos that are criticizing him, which is why he made this little throwaway comment randomly on this stream back then. Obviously, this got linked to me, but at the time, it was like something and nothing, and it was like, well, what is there even to say? He called me ugly. I mean, he's got a point, to be honest. He's got a point, to be honest. But anyway, nonetheless, it didn't really seem worth responding to. So I just, you know, whatever. But now I'm like, yeah, it does seem like he's throwing out this random snipe as a product of me putting out this video where I'm skeptical of some of the things that he's claiming in his response, you know? And then what could we discern from the most recent thing? Well, is he, you know, trying to act all
Most people who look
nonchalant
like Chud would be more handsome if they just got a closer shave. That's so brutal.
and, you know, unbothered? Oh, who even is this guy? Because I mocked his rapist dad. Is that what it is? And I said that he was emotionally manipulative.
Yo, thank you for the raid, Loner Box. Welcome in, Loner Box Raiders. Don't worry, guys. I'm not talking about Hassan right now, so I hopefully won't piss you off too much. We're covering Chud Logic and Tectone fighting. It is kind of related to Hassan, but barely.
Because he was talking about having been raped and crying. And he talked about his dad raping and crying about that. Is that what it is? And it's difficult because obviously there's no way of proving any of this. But it's like, why is he acting like such a fucking dickhead? Like, I don't see any other explanation. I see no other explanation for this.
That's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
You are much better looking than Tectone Chud.
Actually, just raped behavior. Yes, I concur. Well, listen, let's not get into that. But thank you very much for the super chat, nonetheless. So,
all right.
Yeah, it's
I think we've got the rough summary of what Chud was saying about him. Let's get to when Tectone came on. So, Tectone joins the stream, I think, at some point here. Let's see. Let's have a look. What's going on as it leads up?
Maybe we can talk about my dad.
We drop into... Okay, here it is.
Status quo. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's pretty good. Good news is nobody that matters hates me, so it's all fine. Yeah, Chud is bigger on YouTube. He gets like 1,000 viewers live. So do a lot of you guys know Chud Logic? Do you guys know this guy? You guys know this? Horrors plus Genji community plus Lala community? Yeah, fair.
Everyone say no in chat.
No. You aren't familiar with him. Yeah, that's a great way to say it. No. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, anyways. Yeah, sorry if I hurt your feelings, Chud. If you want to talk sometime, man, I'd love to. I don't really know what we have to talk about. Maybe we can talk about my dad.
Dude, whoa, this is like cool. So... Wait, this is like so raped.
No, no, no. You aren't familiar with him. Yeah, that's a great way to say it. No. Okay.
So there's like this weird hedging of not familiar with him that he picks up on from the chat where he's like, oh, yeah, that's a nice way of saying it.
That's what I thought. Okay, anyways.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, sorry if I hurt your feelings, Chud. If you want to talk some...
Yeah, sorry about your feelings, Chud. If you want to talk sometime... And look how nervous his
I
disposition
don't really know
is
what we
here.
have to talk about.
Look how different this is to how he is when he's just ranting to his stream about something on his terms.
Yeah, that's a great way to say it. No. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, anyways.
Look how the
Yeah,
demeanor's
sorry if I hurt
changed.
your feelings, Chud. If you want to talk sometime, man, I'd love to. I don't really know what we have to talk about.
I don't even know what we'd have to talk about.
Maybe we can talk about my dad.
Maybe we can talk about my
That'd be
dad.
cool. Maybe we can all...
Maybe you could grill me about my traumatic childhood because my rapist dad. Dude, what? He is having an emotional moment here.
No. You aren't familiar with him. Yeah, that's a great way to say it. No. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, anyways. Yeah, sorry if I hurt your feelings, Chud.
This
If you want to
is
talk sometime, man, I'd love
unbecoming of a full-grown, bald-ass man.
to. I don't really know what we have to talk about. Maybe we can talk about my dad. That'd be cool. Maybe we can all, me, you, and my dad, we can all meet up and have a
I mean,
steak.
listen, I'm up for talking to him. I'm totally up for talking to the guy. But this doesn't really seem like I want to talk to this guy right now. This seems a little bit more like, yeah, I'll talk to him. Yeah, I'll talk to him. I'll talk to him. Let it be known. I'm willing to talk to Tectone. Now, tomorrow, whenever. Whenever.
Look at the difference in demeanor between the two right now. This is a small dog versus a lion.
I don't really know what we have to talk about. Maybe we can talk about my dad. That'd be cool. Maybe we can all, me, you, and my dad, we can all meet up and have a
I mean,
steak.
listen, I'm up for talking to him. I'm totally up for
keep
talking to the
barking.
guy.
Keep barking, Tectone. See what happens.
This doesn't really seem like I want to talk to this guy right now. This seems a little bit more like, yeah, I'll talk to him. Yeah, I'll talk to him. I'll talk to him. Let it be known. I'm willing to talk to Tectone. Now, tomorrow, whenever. Whenever. But isn't it interesting now? All of a sudden he knows about the fucking dad comments.
Don't bring your girlfriend, though. Uh-oh. That would
Okay, that's
don't do that.
wonderful. But how
But
do
yeah,
I
whatever
make
you want to talk
money
about, man. If you ever
off the
want
press
to
pieces?
talk, hang out,
Rectal
would
is
be great, man. We can go
basically the
skiing or
white
something. What's this? I
Okay.
know Judge is not that one true. Also,
Listen,
you just
I don't
know
have
he's
any
a YouTube
contact with the
commentary
guy.
that maintains a generally neutral position on what he reports from the UK. Great. Okay, great. Well, now
Okay, let it be known. I am willing to talk to Tectone. I'm ready. I'm ready and waiting. And he seems like he wants to talk to me. But it feels like he's doing the whole, oh yeah, I'll talk to you sometime, bro. But I'm willing to talk to him. I'm willing to talk to him. Let it be known. It looks like he's doing some sort of react thing at the moment. I don't have any communication with him. I've never spoke to him before. I am willing to talk to him, and I'm putting the invitation out there, okay? Today, tomorrow, whenever the case may be. Whenever the case may be. Oh, is he watching? Okay, let's go! Hey!
Here we go. Okay. Let's start skipping. Let's
I meant
get.
comparing you to Frogan the other day, and I wanted to say I didn't mean that. But what I meant by that Frogan comment,
Dude. Oh. The walk back.
I'm chill. I'm relaxed.
The walk back.
Tectone. Hello.
Please don't rape me, lion. Please don't rape me, lion.
How's it going?
well, it was
No, I
going
didn't bark.
good, but
I
I
didn't
made a
bark.
comment comparing you to
I
Frogan
didn't
the
bark,
other
don't
day,
rape
and I
me.
wanted to say I didn't mean that. But what I meant by that Frogan comment was, you know how Frogan. Oh wait. Oh, you're turned on camera. Oh, okay, great. I can do that too if you want.
Sure.
Yeah. So what I meant by that comment was, I didn't mean to offend you. Was that
I
there
gotta be
was an
honest,
air-
mate. It feels like you're backtracking a little bit now. I must say, it does feel like you're backtracking.
Oh.
Hold on. Let me explain it. You tell me if it makes sense to you.
And stuttering. Whoa. That's rough.
So you know how Frogan gets like no viewers
sorry.
on Twitch, yet she's blasted on like Drama Alert, Yeet, LSF.
Right.
So what I meant by that was I had only assumed that you only had 60 viewers on Twitch. I didn't know that you had thousands of viewers on YouTube. So I just said, it's just another Frogan. Does that make sense? Or do you think I'm just like trying to lie to you?
Well, it does make sense. And I got to be honest with you. There's another clip where, and I saw this a little while ago, but I didn't pay much heed. But you made some comment about me being ugly. Okay. Now listen, I'm long in the tooth. No, listen. I'm long in the tooth. I understand this is what happens. We talk shit about each other. Okay. But it just seemed odd to me that this comment seemed to come fairly soon after I'd released a video where I was skeptical of your response to the allegations against you.
Oh yeah, of course. Obviously, that's going to piss me off for sure.
Okay, so you are pissed off that someone didn't immediately accept your narrative in response to the allegations. Okay.
Did I actually invite you to play Fortnite?
Yeah, like 2 years ago. It was when I was in the middle of some other drama.
What was it? What drama are you in?
It was something to do with OTK. There was some sort of like maybe the Mizkif stuff or something like that. I can't remember. It was like 2023.
Which Mizkif stuff? There's a lot. Do you remember which one?
Possibly when he was talking about killing himself and Chud was making fun of him on his live stream. It's a little bit similar to what's happening with you right now, Tectone.
I think the stuff when he tried to top himself. I tell you what, Tectone, you're being very pleasant now, aren't you? Very nice. What's that about?
Well, I'm usually a pretty nice guy whenever I talk to people online.
You seem very dismissive, and that I wasn't worth any consideration yesterday because I was at like a 60.
This is great. This is great.
What's changed?
Because I found out that I hurt your feelings when I didn't mean to.
Okay, it's not about hurting feelings. It's a desperate framing, bro. It's not about his hurt feelings, but your rat behavior.
Feelings is that you're quite a dishonest person, I think.
Yep.
And you were just hand waving me away because you thought I was, able to just be knocked into the long grass without any much consideration. That's what it felt like.
Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way.
But no, that's not what it felt like. No. Chud needs to be firm with his language here. No. He needs to lay out what Tectone did and be like, it explains to me this behavior if I assume that this is what you're thinking. That's the way you need to go. No, I feel like this is what you've done to me. This is how I think you're thinking based on your actions. That because it's a criticism of his behavior and his intention towards people.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess your apology is somewhat appreciated, but it's just kind of worthless, isn't it? Really?
Oh yeah, I mean, we're probably not going to talk.
Okay, he should have focused in on just trying to criticize Tectone.
Talk ever again, but I just made a comment where I could
kind of accept the apology.
Nobody deserves that. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. You wanted to talk about your dad, I guess. Is that another thing you wanted to talk about? Problems with my coverage?
What?
Wait, you want to talk about my dad?
No, you said that in the clip.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming you're aware of my coverage of your situation, which is probably why you're so pissed off with me.
I saw the thumbnail of the video, but I never clicked it.
Right, okay. Well, at least we can be honest about that, at least.
I think I have been pretty honest so far.
Okay. Except for when you acted like you had no idea who I was and hand waved me away, but it was clearly because you were upset with my coverage.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Right now, we're engaging in I feel like you did this, and I feel like you did that.
No. You did do that. You did do that. In response to coverage, you have, on 2 occasions now, made derisive comments that were intended to discredit or downplay the person because they were criticizing you.
Right. And what's that really going to do? You know what I mean?
Well, obviously I can't prove how you feel about something. That's impossible.
Of course.
But it just seems like you were, extremely dismissive the moment my face popped up on the screen.
Well, he admits,
and to me piecing it together, that seemed to be because you were unhappy with
my admitted, yeah, that's going to piss me off. He's admitted it.
Coverage of your situation with your father, and prior the coverage of your allegations where I was somewhat skeptical of your response.
Sure. So the reason why I was very dismissive, and once again, I'm sorry, Chad, I hope that didn't bother you too much, was there was this era where you were
I'm sorry. Dude, what is this?
Always popping up on LSF, like Chud Logic thread after Chud Logic thread after Chud Logic thread. And I'm just like, who the fuck is this guy? And I think that was the general consensus for the majority of people who saw that you popping up on LSF was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, who the fuck is Chad? Right? And that's pretty much just it. Right? So like my thing is, why would I care about a person's opinion who I have no idea who they are? And that's pretty much just it. Now, I think you understand that, like, I could have picked up this call,
That's pretty much
gone
just
in
it.
on you, been an abrasive dickhead. It's very easy for me to do, but I have no interest in doing that. That's pretty much just it. It was
That's
just a
pretty
comment
much
of,
just
I
it.
compared you to Frogan.
That's totally not a nervous. Guys, don't read into anything about the fact that don't at all read into the fact that Tectone is repeatedly using a filler phrase of that's pretty much about just it repeatedly when he doesn't usually do that, and is currently holding a pen between his fingers tightly, twiddling it around. Do not read anything into this, because you would be a schizophrenic if you dared read anything into this whatsoever. You'd be unhinged and weird and obsessed.
Right, that's pretty much just it. Right, so like my thing is, why would I care about a person's opinion who I have no idea who they are? And that's pretty much just it. Now, I think you understand that, like, I could have picked up this call, gone in on you, been an abrasive dickhead. It's very easy for me to do, but I have no interest in doing that. That's pretty much just it.
That's pretty much
it was
just
just a comment of, I compared you to Frogan.
That's pretty much
No,
Sorry,
sure.
you're
And,
not
and,
Frogan.
you know, like, at the end of the day, you know, we're obviously not going to be best buds or anything, right? But it just seemed a bit bizarre.
One game of Fortnite could change everything. You know?
Or you're a
We
little,
can go
you're a
to
little,
right now.
I can see your little tactics, mate. You're trying to build rapport. I see what you're doing. I see exactly what you're doing, mate. Okay.
I feel like I'm not doing anything.
Uh-huh.
Am I going crazy?
No, it's fine. No. Listen, all I wanted to say is, if you were just real about it and you said, "Oh, Chud Logic, that's the tosser that fucking had to go at my dad. What a dickhead." I mean, what have I got to say? Like, fair enough. I fucking was mean and made mean comments about you. I get it. But it's the fact, you know, and I'm, you know, whatever. I've had it all the time. Big streamers saying, "Who is this guy?" It doesn't matter. But it just seemed like, for someone that prides themselves on honesty, you weren't being 100% honest.
Sure. Let me see if I can give you any amount, because you're saying a lot of seams and you feel this way. Let me see if I can show you any proof of this. How do I do this? Is there any way that I can show you this? Well, I don't know if this helps, but like, if you can see my stream right now on this whole video where it says Tectone sobs when exposed for rapist father. Jesus, that's quite the title. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's provocative. That's provocative, but I feel like you were being quite manipulative when you were crying about it, if we're going to bring that up. That's you know.
Oh, you think I was faking the tears?
You could have been being genuinely emotional. I can't tell that, but it just seemed like it was quite a performative act that you were making because you were embarrassed about Hassan bringing this up.
That's wonderful. But how
You really have a lot of like bad faith in me, huh? Do you watch? Have you ever watched me anytime besides the clips you see online, or is this like your first time ever like seeing me at all?
I don't really watch your stuff.
God, dude, that is so annoying.
If you can see my stream right now on this whole video where it says Tectone sobs when exposed for rapist father. Jesus, that's quite the title. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean,
Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. What a whimpering. Fucking, like, it's just so gay. Oh, Jesus. I can't believe you're so mean to me. Oh, Jesus. Dude, grow a fucking spine. Grow a pair. You are so estrogenic right now. It's insane. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Bro, you're like half your career is dogging on retarded VTubers who take a swing at you and miss, and then you go 10 times as hard. That's like what most people know you for. And then you're like, oh, Jesus. Tectone cries when outed for rapist. Oh, Jesus.
Provocative. That's provocative, but I feel like you were being quite manipulative when you were crying about it, if we're going to bring that up. That's you know.
Oh, you think I was faking the tears?
You could have been being genuinely emotional. I can't tell that, but it just seemed like it was quite a performative act that you were making because you were embarrassed about Hassan bringing this up.
That's wonderful. But how
You really have a lot of like bad faith in me, huh? Do you watch? Have you ever watched me anytime besides the clips you see online, or is this like your first time ever like seeing me at all?
I don't really watch your stuff that much. I've mainly covered. Well,
that makes sense. Yeah, I have to imagine the opinion that you have of me after only interfacing with me via like watching clips. You might think that was performative, but yeah, no, that was just me being really upset because
Dude, it was so performative. Dude, there are clips where Tectone says about this VTuber who's crying. Dude, when I lose control, I lose it for hours. I literally can't stop crying. And then he gets on stream, it's like he breaks down crying for a bit while he's talking about the stuff that he wants you to feel bad for him about. And then the moment ends, it's, all right, and that's about it, guys. See ya. And then he's back into the rest of it. None of this affects me. None of this affects me. None of this matters. None of this affects me.
the thing is, you know, when you have are you close with your dad?
Not really. No.
Yeah, so like I was very close with my dad, and when you're 16 years old, you don't want to think of your dad as like a fucking horrible human being. And like obviously, I knew my dad went to jail. However, he told me that it was all a bunch of bullshit. That's why he only went for 90 days, and I'm like, oh okay, 90
Yeah,
days.
he did.
Yeah, probably
He
just
did
got,
call
you
the
know,
crying in this fucking sympathy story a move. Yeah, he said it was like good play.
fucked over.
Yep.
Right. Then obviously I see all this shit come out online. It's a lot to hear that about your dad. I feel like it's kind of reasonable to be a little bit upset. I wasn't upset at Hassan for doing it. However, finding out about all that stuff about your dad is pretty awful. And then also people calling him a rapist, which just, you know, he wasn't a rapist.
What,
That's not
sexual
a thing that
assault?
happened.
Sexual assault.
Right? Like that's not
Okay,
the crime
well,
he was charged
he-
for.
I mean, he
Wonderful.
didn't have
But how do I make
forced
money
penetrative
off
sex
the
with the
press
women.
people?
Yeah, of course.
But he
right,
did
right,
sexually
yeah.
assault them, I believe. I don't know the ins and outs of it exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, the proper thing to call him, people were calling my father the LeBron James of rape. He's not. He's more like the Max Verstappen of sexual assault, right? So as long as we can just be like, you know, honest with our titles, you know what I mean? So, you know,
So even
obviously
now
there's
he's
a big
making a
difference.
joke out of it. It's like, dude, this is like so wretched. He was not performing when he had a complete fucking breakdown the other day over this, but now he's saying he's the Max Verstappen of sexual assault. Okay, dude, you're fucking such a wretched snake. You are so transparent.
I think you'd agree.
Sure, I think that, you know, I understand
Yeah.
where you're coming from, and I've got some sympathy for feeling emotional about that. I just always find it a little bit
Yeah.
obnoxious when streamers present that super hard to their audience. It comes across like, you know, you see it as being real perhaps, but to me it just comes across as manipulative, and I think people are going to, you know, buy into your emotion about it and have a certain take on the drama that they might not do without the emotion.
Sure. I do think that you would agree that, let's say I was doing that as a ploy, right? I was, you know, let's pretend, right?
Let's imagine.
I think that
if
you
I did
understand
If I did it.
that would be the biggest misplay to ever do, due to the fact that in the political sphere, the person who shows emotion always loses, right? So
Except
obviously that
you've
would,
already described it as being a good play. You yourself described it on stream. You said, I think that was a really good play.
have never been the proper play to ever do that.
Look, and this completely contradicts what you were saying on stream. Literally, straight up, completely contradicts it. If you needed any more proof that this guy is a total manipulative loser, literally, 2 days ago, he said explicitly, crying in the sympathy stuff was a good play. Getting emotional was a good play. Here, he is saying, there's no way I could have done that, because obviously, crying is a bad play. So if I was trying to... Obviously, I'm not trying to manipulate you, because that wouldn't work.
Box at Nuremberg, nervously rolling a pen between his fingers. So I mean the reason I said I wanted to eliminate them was more like an angry thing. And that's pretty just it. The train packing thing was just like a meme.
I don't know. I didn't hear any of that, don't I? But thank you. Let me see if I can find this. Let me see if I can find the clip here.
Hassan's actions as he is a third.
Yep, I've got it. I've got it. Right at the peak of not caring these last 2 days.
And they'll see me crying and they'll post that. But I think it was I still think it was a good, and they'll see me crying and they'll post that. But I think it was I still think it was a good play.
Huh? So we don't need my whole reaction there. But there you go. Saying about the crying, it was a good play. I think it was a good play. He was saying it the other day. Now to Chud, he tells Chud, there's no way I could be manipulating you. The proof is that it's obviously a bad play to cry. Whoever does that loses.
You see it as being real perhaps, but to me it just comes across as manipulative, and I think people are going to, you know, buy into your emotion about it and have a certain take on the drama that they might not do without the emotion.
Sure. I do think that you would agree that, let's say I was doing that as a ploy, right? I was, you know, let's pretend.
If I did it.
Right? I think that you understand that that would be the biggest misplay to ever do, due to the fact that in the political sphere, the person who shows emotion always loses, right? So obviously that would have never been the proper play to ever do that, because the way to win in the political space is to just be neutral, act calm, ignore any criticism whatsoever, and continue to try to like brainwash your audience in a certain method. I mean, I feel like it's really not that hard to believe that a guy on stream found out that his dad is worse than what he believed, and you know, the idea that his hero is now a shattered version of that, and now they're probably not going to interact as much, you know, isn't really fun to deal with.
Sure. I mean, obviously, you know, I can't look inside your head and assess exactly what you were thinking in that moment, but I think it's a bit misguided to think that an emotional reaction won't tee up your audience to have a certain response or reaction and support you off the back of that.
Yeah, but I think you'd understand that every streamer's chat's going to support them regardless, whether they're crying or not.
Yeah, sure. There's a lot of like parasocial attachment and stuff that happens. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So like they're like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no reason to play it that way. And
no, probably no chance. You're in the same time zone as me, though. I assume you're in the UK. I start at 9 p.m. each day. Probably, if you're around early, then try and jump on around then.
By the way, I do think it is very funny that you say how pleasant I am. I appreciate that, by the way. If you go watch any of my other content when I do podcasts, I hope you don't think that I'm like, you know, jerking your balls or, you know,
no, not at
blowing
all.
smoke
Not at all.
up your
It just, you know, it
Yeah.
feels like, I mean, you know, you talked about me for a couple of minutes. It wasn't the be all and end all. Obviously, as a smaller streamer, I'd be stupid to not talk about that because a bigger streamer talking about you, as you know from your own experience, is often, you know, a good thing to bring up on your own stream. It just, the tone that you're bringing here is different to, I guess, maybe what I was anticipating based on some of the comments you made about me.
Yeah, that happens a lot when I talk to people. I usually have that impression of, wow, this guy's the world's biggest jackass. This guy's the world's biggest dickhead. Oh, okay, well, maybe not. And that's okay. I understand.
It's not, no, it's not maybe not. It's your presentation here is clearly forced. You are trying to win people over. You are being fake.
That's, I'm known for giving the worst
slimy.
first impression.
It just comes across as a bit phony to me.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Bless.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
bless.
you can definitely believe that 100%. But yeah, I mean, if you just pull up any of my streams or any of my videos, it's just pretty much me all the time.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, like I say, obviously, you know, you've got your.
How it feels to know the world is full of unpunished frauds, phonies, and hypocrites. This is real. This is me right now watching this Tectone stream. You get it? You feel it? I'm sure.
Your perception on the crying. I've got my interpretation of it. I can't see what was in your head.
Sure. I think it goes as simple as, if you like me, you'll think it's legitimate. If you don't like me, you'll think that it's performative. And that's pretty much just how it goes. Like, that's why I don't really worry about my public perception online, because it's always going to boil down to, if the people don't like me, they're not going to believe me. If the people like me, then they're going to fucking actually like me. And if people look into it, well, then people will actually believe me even more. And that's pretty much just it.
Because it's something you've done before. When you were talking about the allegations with your ex, you were crying about that on stream as well.
Oh, what? Can you refresh my memory?
I can't remember the exact point at which you did, but you definitely broke down in tears at some point addressing, perhaps in regards to your own assault. I'm not sure. It might have been in regards to that.
Kind of like a hard thing to talk about, don't you think?
Yeah, no, I understand that. I understand that.
Yeah, but Chubbsnick
come on, man. I mean,
people
like,
talk about breakdown crying.
People talk about tough things all the time, and they're not in tears on stream.
Well, yeah, sure, but I'm a pretty emotionally connected guy. You can tell that I get angry really easily, I get sad really easily, I get happy really easily.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's no way of, you know, like I say, demonstrating intent in what you're doing. I just personally always find it manipulative when streamers cry in front of their audiences. So
sure, there's a there's a video. You ever played a gacha game?
Yes, yeah, I actually took a Genshin sponsorship a little while ago.
I'm so sorry. Did you like it?
Well, no, because it was a 20 gig download, and people had to do it on their phone, so it was a fucking waste of time, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't like it either. There's this video of me pulling this character Kafka in Honkai Star Rail, and I got so excited I passed out on the floor. Yeah, and I like took off my fucking clothes. That was performative, but I like genuinely passed out for like 3 seconds. I think it's my emotions.
Strong fawn response in a rape victim. This is clearly trained behavior. Tecton's subconscious is telling him that Chud is his father, and he has a gun to his head. And the only way out is to rewrite the rape as an act of love. Sad.
Thank you for the donut. Hugely appreciate it. I disavow.
You're very charged. But yeah, I think you're from Britain. I can tell by your very thick accent, and I'm from America, so you can probably tell by my view on gun laws that we're probably just different. And I understand you're probably a pretty cynical guy, and that's okay. But yeah, just wanted to come here and say sorry.
Oh my god, they're saying it's cultural differences. What, dude? Well, I've literally shown you guys. I've just shown you guys that you completely lies about the motivation here. Lies about it not being a good play or whatever. To try and dispel the idea that it's manipulative. So already you should be totally set, like, okay, this guy's weird. There's something weird's happening. They're saying this guy isn't quite reporting his internal state of mind accurately. And now he's trying to use cultural differences to explain it. Because, oh, no, actually, men cry all the time in the US.
Go on your Frogan, man. That's pretty much it.
Okay, I mean, obviously, you know, the other thing that I think it was probably worth bringing up whilst you're here in regards to your dad is, do you have any kind of thoughts about the fact that you used him in kind of the online discourse to back up your arguments about PTSD?
Yeah, people keep on saying that I used my dad to back up my discourse. I believe what I said is my brothers didn't. What did I say? My
it's not
brother,
the first time you've done it.
And
it's not the first time, is it, retard? Not the first time.
Our soldiers didn't. Should I pull up the exact tweet?
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head, but I know you referenced your father in it.
Yeah, sure. My dad was a soldier. My brother was a soldier. I'm from a military family, and I'm, very supportive of our troops. I don't think I was directly using my father. He was also in the sentence, but I don't think I was weaponizing my father in any means. I just kind of just soldiers and how I have, a good view of soldiers because I'm from a military family. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, sure. I guess the point that I'm making is, I mean, I don't know what your take is on this, and I appreciate there's been a lot of harsh comments from myself in regards to your father and whatnot. But obviously, if you bring him up and bring him into the online discourse, of course you've got to expect that people are going to find stuff out about him and potentially talk about him, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't think that was my intention to bring him up and say, my dad's really cool. Look at this fucking guy. Hassan, you're wrong because my dad did this. I don't think I was doing that. It's been kind of odd to see like kind of the revisionist history that occurred. Maybe I'm just off the mark here. But I don't think I was doing that. But I do think it's just kind of weird how like, Hassan would go after my father for like his criminal past. When he has an uncle who's like talking about how bestiality should be legal and how he fantasizes about young girls at the beach. I just feel like it's kind of weird. Like where does the buck stop? When do we stop being guilty by association? When do we stop being guilty by like, generational guilt? I think is like a very stupid concept.
I mean, that just feels like deflection. Like, I don't think you're guilty for your father's crimes, of course.
Sorry, I'm missing it. Sorry. I literally had to AFK for 2 seconds.
Our troops. I don't think I was.
Any kind of thoughts about the fact that you used him in kind of the online discourse to back up your arguments about PTSD?
Yeah, people keep on saying that I used my dad to back up my discourse. I believe what I said is my brothers didn't. What did I say? My brother, my father, and our soldiers didn't. Should I pull up the exact tweet?
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head, but I know you referenced your father in it.
Yeah, sure. My dad was a soldier. My brother was a soldier. I'm from a military family, and I'm, very supportive of our troops. I don't think I was directly using my father. He was also in the sentence, but I don't think I was weaponizing my father in any means. I just kind of just soldiers and how I have, a good view of soldiers because I'm from a military family. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, sure.
But why would you? Okay, but why would you have a good view of them when your dad, Iron Mike, and the 14 counts?
I guess the point that I'm making is, I mean, I don't know what your take is on this, and I appreciate there's been a lot of harsh comments from myself in regards to your father and whatnot. But obviously, if you bring him up and bring him into the online discourse, of course you've got to expect that people are going to find stuff out about him and potentially talk about him, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't think that was my intention to bring him up and say, my dad's really cool. Look at this fucking guy. Hassan, you're wrong because my dad did this. I don't think I was doing that. It's been kind of odd to see like kind of the revisionist history that occurred. Maybe I'm just off the mark here. But I don't think I was doing that. But I do think it's just kind of weird how like, Hassan would go after
he would bring up his dad and point to his dad and be like, yeah, I'm from a military family. My dad didn't fight for your dad fought to be able to fucking molest women, dude.
father for like his criminal past.
That's why your dad fought.
When he has an uncle who's like talking about how bestiality should be legal and how he fantasizes about young girls at the beach. You know, I just feel like it's kind of weird. Like, where does the buck stop? When do we stop being guilty by association? When do we stop being guilty by like
So guilty by association, you fucking retard. What are you talking about?
generational guilt? I think is like a very stupid concept.
You're bringing it up. You're the one who brought him up.
I mean, that just feels like deflection.
like-
I don't think you're guilty for your father's crimes, of course. But I think you bringing him onto stream as well in a positive light, you know, it's kind of inevitable that this was going to come up and come back to bite you, right?
Well, you know, when you think your dad's a good dude,
But you didn't. But you didn't. You knew he wasn't.
I guess. I don't know. I fucking stream all my family members. I've done it with my brother. You know, I stream with my mom. You know, like I just feel like it's like a kind of a normal thing to do for streamers, don't you think? Oh, also, here's the tweet.
Well,
I have it pulled up.
Sure, go on.
So the tweet says, I am genuinely considering full swabbing YouTube if this terrorist propaganda isn't punished harshly and immediately on Twitch. My father, my brothers, and our soldiers did not bleed, sacrifice, and die for this bullshit to be allowed and promoted on Twitch. This needs to be changed immediately. Yeah, which, by the way, if Hassan looks into my...
okay, first of all, let's ignore your rapist father and take that statement as it stands. Yes, they did. No, they actually did. What was it? It's all about freedom, democracy, spreading democracy around the world, defending the principles of freedom, defending First Amendment, all of that, right? That's what it's all about. Defending democracy. You are world police, soldiers of democracy. And you're saying, my father, brother, and the troops didn't bleed and die for what? Free speech? For you to be able to say that you like a terrorist organization? For you to have the right to do that in America? As a American citizen who lives under the First Amendment? For you to be able to do that? No, they actually did fight for that. That's what they should have been fighting for. Now, let's bring in Iron Mike. Your father fought for this. No, your father abused his position in the military for sexual gratification. That's what your father did in the military. Your father did not fight to defend democracy. Your father abused his fucking position to torment his subordinates and to receive sexual gratification. That's what your father did.
brothers too, they're way worse. You know, they've killed people.
I mean, obviously, you know, I'm no Hassan fan, right? I'm not a Hassan guy, so you know, I'm not looking to defend Hassan on the basis of his family or whatever. But you know, it's just that you're invoking your father in order to try and get someone else deplatformed, essentially, only for them to have done things which potentially cause PTSD themselves, right? You see the kind of, you know.
Sure. So real quick, you keep on saying like invoking my dad. Do you really think that post reads just invoking my dad? I was my father, my brother, and our soldiers, right? So me bringing them up was just to say that I'm from a military family.
Well, you're referencing them to bring an emotional weight to your argument, I think, is what's happening there.
Was I doing that? I think I was just saying, hey,
why
man,
did you
I'm upset about this
Why
shit.
did you mention him at all then, and just not say PTSD is bad and you shouldn't mock military people?
To kind of get people to understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, to add emotional weight to the argument. Yeah, exactly. That's well, I mean,
sure. You sound like you know a lot more about the psychology term than me, man.
Well, no, it's not about knowing about psychology. It feels like quite an obvious, intent that you're trying to achieve there, and you're acting like you're just kind of referencing them for the hell of it. Whereas to me, it's like to underpin it that you have got some direct knowledge of this.
It was more like to show why I'm so passionate about this subject.
Yeah, so you're lending emotional weight to your argument. Okay,
yeah, exactly. That's sure. If you're happy calling it,
are we saying the same thing?
Yeah, more or less we're saying the same thing. Yeah, sure. I just think there's this kind of denial because it's like you don't want to accept that there's. I don't know. It feels like you don't want to accept that there's some level of you doing that almost.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if we agree on that, that's fine. I mean,
I'm thinking maybe we're saying the same thing. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that was it. I mean, did you have any specific issues with anything I've said about you, your family, or anything like that you wanted to ask me?
I mean this genuinely. I don't know what you've said. I don't know. Okay. I don't know if you've said anything bad about me or my family. I just felt dismissive, and some of my chat was like, hey, man, I think you're a little bit too harsh on Chud. And I was like, okay, let me look into him. Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess he's not like Frogan at all. Well, that's pretty much it.
No, I don't. Well, obviously it's up for people to decide, but I don't really.
How long is it going?
Well, if you're like Frogan.
Well, no, I mean, obviously I've got a very different tact and whatnot.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, if you've got time as well, just briefly whilst we're on the line.
He is
Nuxtaku,
such a
I
lying
saw you
wretch,
react
man.
to that video about Nuxtaku.
Yeah, Nux. You don't like Nux?
Well, I mean, you didn't see my part of the video because you skipped it, so you maybe don't know what my kind of contribution or issue was.
Oh my god! All right, you want me to pull it up?
No, you don't need to pull it up. You don't need to pull it up.
No,
It's
he's
fine.
right here. Just
You know,
ask
I'm
him,
just,
retard.
Well, okay,
what do you mean?
what
pull it
you
up?
want to say about Nux?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I felt like you were quite favourable towards your friend when you covered him.
I think that's how most people are.
Dude, I hate this. I can't stand this response. How many times have I heard this response? How many times on this live stream, on this very live stream, have you heard someone say this? It's the most fucking annoying thing in the world. It's so fucking irritating. You're a bit light on your friend there, don't you think? Isn't everyone? No. How about you take try and at least attempt to take a more objective and rational view of it? Or do you just succumb to bias? The moment you detect a bias in yourself, you decide you're just going to succumb to it and lean into it and take a completely retarded stance on the issue. That sounds fucking stupid. No, obviously. Oh, yeah, we're friends, so I might have, but I mean, is there anything you disagreed with in there? That response would be better. Is there anything you disagreed with? You think yeah, no, of course we're friends. I've got my bias, but I feel like I was pretty fair. What did you disagree with? Where did I miss something? And then fight on that. And then accept if you've missed something because of your bias. Don't just go, oh yeah, we're friends. Oh yeah, we're friends. Of course I'm nice to them. You're a child. You're a fucking child.
I think that's how most people are. I'm not like a neutral journalist, you know. Usually people are pretty good to their friends, don't you think?
Yeah, of course, I get that. I mean, I've got people that I'm
Yeah.
friends with that I absolutely would be kind of biased towards or more favourable towards. I just feel like you kind of watched
Yeah.
this hit piece about him, and then there were some points where you kind of just like skipped over it or didn't really address certain aspects that were, you know, being
I
pointed
think the
out.
only part I skipped was you because of the whole meme of who the fuck is Chud Logic on LSF. That was like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And plus, you know, I mean, obviously, I will admit, you know, on stream, I do play up a bit more of a dickhead than I am. I'm not going to deny that I'm a dickhead in real life. I absolutely am. But sometimes we like being a jackass a little bit for fun.
Well, why did you bother watching a hit piece about him if he's your friend? Why did you just, you know?
It didn't seem like a hit piece at all.
Oh, I see. So did you pick it because it was a bit more favourable towards him then?
No, I saw it, so I can give you the full context.
He thought it was a
So
hit
the
piece.
guy's
Yeah,
name is Royalty is Here, I believe.
God.
That's his
Give
username.
yeah,
the
give us
YouTube
the whole
made it.
10-year
Sounds about right,
storyline.
Yeah, and so he made a video on me, and I just reacted to it on stream. It went very well. It was from 2 years ago, and everything that he said about me was out of context clips and bad faith arguments over and over and over and over again. And so I leave a comment, or I can't remember what I did. We interfaced somehow, and he said, "Yeah, looking back on this video, it was horrendous, and I apologize. I completely misrepresented you." And I said, okay, so the guy understands, and he was at least trying to be fair. And so then I see, oh, okay, this guy made a video on me that was an immense amount of bad faith. I wonder what he said about Nux.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
clicked
Honestly,
the video.
if Tectone doesn't make your skin crawl, you're not paying enough attention. That's just facts. Sorry.
And the dislike ratio was like non-existent. And I was like, oh, okay. So let's see how it goes. Because the like to dislike ratio video on mine was fucking terrible. I think it had like 30% dislikes because it was just like completely horribly presented. But the guy apologized, said he doesn't stand by what he said. And so I just wanted to see what he said about Nux. But yeah, I mean, I think that's fine.
Oh no, sure. I thought you'd picked it because maybe it was like more of a attacking video, but it seems like you thought it was more favourable from the sound.
When he says bad faith, he means negative interpretation. Yeah, that's how people use it, though. People use it to say, you're being bad faith towards me. It actually just means you've got a negative impression of me.
Oh, well, the thing is, for me, is that I really don't worry about whether a video is fair or not, because as long as people know the full context of the situations, let's say there is a video that paints one of my friends or someone that I don't like in a bad light, and I think that you'll admit that I'm pretty fair towards the people that I get into discourse with. I don't really think I make things up, like call people a rapist or anything like that. I think I've been pretty fair, and I stick to comments like for example, I called you ugly. I think you'd agree that you're not really the best looking guy. Just like I'm not the best looking guy.
I even said you got a point.
Yeah.
To be honest, so it's all good. You know?
you see what I mean? Like when I called Frogan fat, you know, she's pretty fucking fat, right? It is what it is. You know, hopefully we don't get banned. But yeah, like I don't really like say things that aren't, you know, pretty easily noticeable. I don't make up that people committed crimes or any of that shit unless they do that to me first. Right. And then I'm like, okay, well, if you're going to fuck with me like that, then I guess the gloves are off. And I guess let's just make this as messy as possible. Right. Like for example, like, so Hassan called me a fucking rapist. He said, and I quote, brother has a generational familial obligation to rape. And so I lie about him and I say that he's 45, you know, and that's, you know what I mean? I know that's
like, wow. Yeah. You got him, man. You got him. Yo, Tectone, wasn't your dad a rapist? Aren't you credibly accused of sexual assault and abuse by two women, one of which is sexual assault and abuse, the other one is just abuse? Aren't you like credibly accused by two women and your dad was a rapist? It's like you've got it's like you've got epigenetic memories of rape. It's like you're like the rapist equivalent of Desmond Miles going into the Animus to capture Ezio's memories, to learn how to rape women, rape and abuse women. You know, because your dad was an abusive rapist. You know, because your dad was an abusive rapist. You're old. Okay.
And that's pretty much it, you know. But I think I'm a pretty reasonable guy.
Sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, the Nuxtaki stuff is like there's so much deep-rooted drama in that. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. It just, you know, interesting to get some insight into why you watched that video. But
sure.
But yeah, anyway, I mean that's
pretty much it. I mean that's pretty much it. That's just about pretty much it. That's just about it. That's pretty much it. That's just about it.
Have you always had viewers on YouTube?
I switched over to YouTube about 1.5 years ago. So back when you came and invited me to play Fortnite, I had about 500 viewers back then, I think.
What a great guy. Do you think LSF was big for blowing up your career?
Yeah, definitely. It had an impact. I was always posted covering whatever fucking OTK drama was happening. But it got
you like OTK?
Not really. No, I think that, you know, it's kind of a double-edged sword because speaking shit about OTK people ends up getting you a bad reputation. And there was some gay study someone did, and apparently I was one of the most hated people on LSF, which is fine. I'm very vitriolic. I get that, but yeah, I think it had a negative impact in some ways.
Yeah, I do think, you know, after the conversation, I do think you have a lot of bad faith. I do.
Bad faith.
You think I say things I believe?
You have a lot of bad faith.
Sorry, what can you repeat that?
What, I mean, I don't know what you mean by bad faith, because I would understand it to mean I'm saying things that I don't truly believe or something.
So I think that you're going into this field as a neutral journalist, a neutral, like, perspective individual. But I think that if your biases and your opinions are entirely based off of just the clips you see, and you don't go to look for the further context,
he watches full fucking streams, retard.
Hated, right? Because nobody should be judged by one clip that happened 4 years ago in the span of 30 seconds. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of the negative perspective you have towards me,
this is like, how do people cry about Hassan doing this nonstop, saying it's taken out of context, using context like a catch-all. Tectone literally doing it in the most just blatant and annoying way, right?
You even doubt how, what's the word?
Yo, thank you for the $10 Dofo show. Hugely appreciate it for the $10. Scummiest thing is he's trying to refute his own grape allegations by saying he's only accused them because his dad's a rapist. He's using his dad's grape history to his advantage. Thank you for the $10 show. Hugely appreciate it.
I guess, is corrigible a word? Is that a word? Corrigible?
I don't know. What are you trying to allude to? What do you mean?
I just think it's very funny how you came in here with a lot of bad faith arguments and perspectives, and you were like, I think you're faking being nice. I'm just, cordial, that's the word. Yeah, it's like, nah, I'm just like not doing that, man. I really pride myself in not being involved in all the rat race shit. Because I'm pretty sure that you know.
You think that's bad faith? I'm just explaining. It feels like, you know, you making this kind of shitty comment towards me and then being super nice is an effort to try and build rapport with me, so we have a more favorable conversation. That's what I'm trying to get across. Or maybe you're just a nice
Okay,
guy. Maybe you're just a
look,
really nice guy. Maybe you're just a really nice guy. Maybe I'm wrong. But to me, that's what it comes
Okay.
across like.
Well, I appreciate that. And I understand your perspective more. But yeah,
That's
if
just
you ever
about
want to come
That's pretty
watch
much
my
it. That's
stream
just about it.
sometime,
That's pretty
and I'll
much
watch
it.
yours. And once again,
Well, the thing is, you know, I got to be honest with you, right? I don't like big streamers because I feel like they've got this suffocating hold over like what you can and can't say about them. And already you're upset with me because I've criticized some aspect of your response, and sure, my editors put some shitty thumbnails out about you. But if we get closer, what if something happens and I need to say, oh, I think Tectone has done something terrible here? Well, you know, am I going to get a knock on the door and you're going to be, oh, Chad, you can't be saying this?
No, trust me. I think I know what streamers you're referring to. Trust me, I've dealt with my fair share of streamers where they're like, delete that, delete that, delete that. You can't say that. You can't say that. You can't talk to this person. Trust me, I get it. I know what you've probably gone through, and it's definitely very frustrating for sure.
Like, for example, you know, I know this is a sensitive issue for you, but if stuff happens with your ex and stuff comes out and I've got a different view on it, like, what impact is that going to have? Like, surely you're going to be fucking annoyed with me if I say, I think this guy did X, Y, and Z terrible thing.
For real, legit, this whole thing was that I just felt out of pocket for calling you Frogan. That's it. You can do whatever you want, man.
So
you don't have any obligation to do anything for me at all.
This is so lame. Oh my god, this is so
Okay, well, listen, I mean, based on nothing else, I guess
driving me crazy.
You know,
I can see Chud's the same though. I'm glad this hasn't worked. I can see Chud just red in the face. He's so pissed off right now. It's that type of frustrated, pissed off where the person's snaking you like fucking crazy, but they're not giving you enough to justify blowing up on them in the conversation. So it's just like, dude, you are fucking. You gotta go. You gotta go.
I guess we'll leave it there.
So Fortnite or
I'm more into Warzone, to be honest.
Damn, that shit is old, bro. How old are you?
I'm 38.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. You should try Marvel Rivals.
Chud got raped.
Marvel Rivals is way better.
He did try that. I played that with him.
I couldn't really get into that. I'm not into hero shooters. I prefer Battle Royale, to be honest. Maybe it's just my age, but with a slower pace, you know?
Yeah, probably. You ever play PUBG?
Yes. Classic game.
That shit's fire as fuck. Dude, I just don't know what it is, man. Like, Fortnite is cool.
Hey,
yeah, but
we don't care.
I got some sort of woo-esque feelings from that, to be honest. But
woo-esque.
Time will tell. Time will tell.
Yeah.
Time will tell. Yeah, sure. I mean, listen, I'm open to criticism if you think I fucked that up. I don't really know what other angle I was supposed to take there. But, you know, I'm willing to listen if you think I made some mistakes. I don't think I should have bothered bringing up Nuxtaku. That was pointless. I don't think that was a particularly interesting line of conversation, to be honest. That was the big mistake I think I made. But yeah, everything is, you know, something I missed or something I did wrong, I'm open to it, you know.
Is Chud going to be covering the Amaranth drama?
You're meant to fixate on, I mean, obviously, you know, I made a couple of guys about the dad, but obviously, you know, you can't go totally insane. I mean, dude, I can't be there going on about being raped and shit, bro. When he started talking about, oh, when people look into me, they like me, you should have brought up the clips. Okay, the Kandros, I appreciate you sent me a bunch of clips of him at various points saying he is and isn't a sociopath. But I'm not really sure if that's really the right tack to take, to be honest.
Wow. Okay. Wow. I want to watch... Dude, I was hoping... Yeah, Gringles put timestamps in his Discord. That's why I figured Gringle was doing it, because he'd asked. So, I want to watch... Dude, Nick Wick Lee, Amaranth's husband, started reacting to J-Stalk last night, but he didn't finish it. I wanted to watch him watch J-Stalk. But he hasn't started doing it again yet. He is live right now. There's a message for you and J-Stalk in there from Chud. In where? He calls you out. Where? Where is it? If anyone knows where in the VOD it is, I'll, oh, somewhere in the post-talk. Okay, we'll just keep watching it for now then. We'll watch it. We'll watch the rest of this little post-talk.
You basically just whitewashed him. I mean, I tried to not, you know, obviously, you know, I expressed that I thought it was being manipulative. He said I wasn't being manipulative. I don't really know how else you can approach that or take that.
Is there Parry versus Chud drama right now?
You did well. Thank you, DK. DK normally tells me. DK is normally honest. Being super harsh was a dead end.
Very
But
annoyed
someone who
Chud
was
got timed out.
conciliatory. Yeah. Only, yeah, that was a waste of time. Shouldn't have brought up Nux. It's true. Because I don't really care if he's friends with Nux. It doesn't really matter to me. And there was a bit of sweeping in that video, but the video kind of sucked as well. So. But yeah, always going with a certain level of perception of what's going to happen, and then obviously if someone's that apologetic, I mean, what?
I did see some of the glazing clip, yeah.
Thank you for the support, by the way, guys. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, that's
5 hours, 10 minutes.
You know, it's much harder to navigate. Well, yeah, I'm deranged, but I'm realistic. I don't want people to, you know, I don't want to go on a stream where people think I'm just a totally, without question, deranged schizophrenic. Anyway, guys, there we go. I guess that's the end of it. I think that's the end of the Tectone drama. Look at that, dude. Lasted a day. It lasted a single day. Tectone tactically mind graped you. Well, I mean, sure. It did feel a bit like I was being, you know, buttered up, but what can you do? But, you know, make of that what you will. I'm sure people will have their takes on it. Hey, Jay Stalk and Creeman. There we go. I've just fed you for the evening. How about that, eh?
True.
There you go. Bro,
wait, that's not entirely true. I made original content tonight, okay? I spoke to Lonabox. We had an original conversation. That was good. That was original content. It's not solely Chud feeding me tonight, okay? That's not true at all.
Fucking predictable. It's unbelievable, right? Fucking Jay Stalk messaging me like, oh, Chud, have you seen this clip? Tectone, oh my god, have you seen this clip?
Off depressed people.
And then Queeman, oh, I'm sure Chud's going to cover this, isn't he? Chud is going to cover this, right? Chud is going to go, yes, don't.
That's not what I said, but I was baiting him. I knew I'd get under his skin, dude. I'll tell you what I said. I put a message in Spicy. It's one message this guy's seething about. I knew it'd get him. I knew he'd say it. I knew it'd get him. He pretends he does it like he's never in Spicy Chat because he doesn't type in there. He pretends he's not reading it. But if you type a message like in the few hours before his stream starts, he's generally looking in his Discord and, like, you know, clicking around and looking. So I typed like a couple hours before his stream started. I was like, what did I say? Where is it? Surely Chud will farm Tectone and not ignore it, ... Because I was I obviously trying to get him to cover it. Obviously, yeah, but that's a very annoying way of doing it. Where you're like, oh, surely he's gonna go. Surely he's not scared. Surely he's not gonna ignore this. Oh my god.
Don't worry. Enjoy your super chats. You should be charging J-Stalk per DM.
I didn't know J-Stalk was messaging him, to be fair. I didn't know.
Yeah, Cream is literally rubbing his hands together right now.
What does he mean by that?
But yeah. Anyway, there we go, guys. That's the end of it. I've listened to your criticisms, taken it on board, and we'll learn for the future, for future drama conversations. And that's it. Next stream, me and Tectone are dropping Tomato Town. We're now best buds. That's it. We sorted it now. There we go.
Okay. That's funny. Yeah. Okay. What am I doing next? Noah Sampson dropping a new video about Muta and Ethan. That's pretty awesome. I will be watching that when it comes out, I'm sure. Thank you for the 650 yen super sticker of a pair character with a coffee. Thank you, Gore. What are we doing? What are we moving on to next? Topic. Do a cool Chud at calling Chud Logic at 3 AM challenge. Oh. There's an internet versus about
Amaranth has been
Amaranth and her husband. Let's have a look at this. Oh, wait, no, first of all, sorry. I'm retarded. We need to see Tectone's post talk. So this guy, where was the Chud conversation?
Thinking maybe we're saying the same thing. I'm not entirely sure. Probably. You ever play PUBG? My bad.
Well,
not have a good opinion of me. I can tell. Okay, let's see
Tectone's
classic
little decompression after he's.
Don't worry.
Met the lion.
As apologetic as you are,
the lion with only half his mane.
How he thought cordial. Great stream.
Thanks. Catch you later, mate. Bye.
All right, peace. That is so funny to me how he thought that I was like faking being cordial. That was insane to me. I was like, dude, what do people think that I'm like? Yo, fuck this fat, ugly piece of shit. No, for real though. That is so funny how he thought I was faking being cordial. Like, holy fuck. Thinking that I was faking crying too. I was like, what?
So wait, I could never. I would never. I'm not a biff.
Anyways, that was a good conversation. I enjoyed that. I mean, I could tell the guy definitely did not have a good opinion of me. I could tell. It was this. It's not specifically because of you. It is based off of prior interactions. So that's also probably fair. He probably got fucked over by a lot of people for sure. But yeah. Well, it is what it is. Bro, Tectone's so fake. Caught in 4K. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I have no issue talking to anybody who's previously criticized me. It's no big deal. And yeah, why don't we get right back into what we were doing? And
there's a lot of people in chat that aren't quite, this isn't quite lining up for him. I've seen this expressed a couple times. From the perspective of doubting big streamers, I'd say it's fair for him to do that.
Why don't we get into the Daily Scramble? What's this? Motherfucker, you still here?
Seething, pissing, shitting. Plazookas owns you, buddy. Plazookas owns you. Plazookas is in this guy's head. Look at this. Absolutely seething over Plazookas. Unk got your ass.
Motherfucker, you still here? He's still here. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. This is all he does. That's all he does, bro. That's all he does. That's insane, bro. That's insane.
Wow, yeah, this guy's never fake at all.
Man, oh man.
This guy's incapable of being fake, clearly. When he's like fake laughing and work himself up.
Great. I get to release my Silver Palace React today. Thank fucking God. And let's get on with it. Let's keep going through the Daily Scramble. Cool. Where are we at? So we saw this. Here's one of these quick reacts. How a cancellation attempt determines a career.
Almost every...
Oh, this sounds cool as shit. Okay. All right. Great.
Wow.